Welcome to eCancer in May. I'm Gordon McVie, I'm the founding editor. We start off with some really interesting, good discussions from three big conferences. There are a couple of really interesting discussion roundtables, particularly one on patients with prostate cancer, which is metastasized and castration resistant, in other words, not responding to any hormonal manipulation at all. In the UK, there's an excellent meeting organised by Cancer Research UK on brain cancer. Cancer Research UK has just agreed an investment of extra £25 million into brain cancer research, and this will be doubled by the government, pushed on by the loss of Tessa Jowell, prominent Labour MP for many years, who died of brain cancer just 1 week ago. And then the third meeting that eCancer covered was in Vienna, and that's an update and a rather important meeting on myeloma research. Back at home, we've got two education modules, which we've mentioned in previous times. One on breast cancer CDK 4/6 inhibitors, and the other on osteonecrosis of the jaw. What's new to say in May? That they are both available now in Spanish, Italian, French and German. Regular watchers of ecancer.org will know that we have run a number of articles and interviews on repurposing drugs, which have been around for a long time for other indications than cancer. Well, Franco Muggia from New York University and his team have sent us a case report where they describe a 63-year-old lady who had a course of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine for dermatomyositis and subsequently developed a very large aggressive ovarian cancer. She was given neoadjuvant chemotherapy with cisplatin and Taxol, and then she had a laparotomy, and she had an extraordinary pathological complete remission in omentum, in the ovary section and in liver and in lymph nodes. Now that is really quite unusual, certainly from my experience and from Franco's as well. And this lady is now 3 years further on. The only other medicine was 2 courses of intraperitoneal chemotherapy, which again is one of my hobbies. And this is a really quite remarkable length of disease-free survival. And Franco Muggia's team are asking, I wonder if the chloroquine or the hydroxychloroquine actually sensitized the ovarian cancer cells to the effect of cisplatin and the taxane. Very interesting question. Second paper on ovarian cancer, another extraordinary case report. And this is about a particularly rare kind of ovarian cancer. Dr. Kian Quinn and colleagues from Houston Methodist Hospital in Texas tell us about a lady with small cell carcinoma of the ovary, and it's the hypercalcemic type. They describe a patient with this very aggressive cancer in whom they aggressively treated surgery, cytoreductive surgery, chemotherapy, conventional chemotherapy, then consolidation chemotherapy, then an autologous transplant, and then pelvic radiation. The bottom line is that this patient has done remarkably well and is still in remission. So that's 2 cases of ovarian cancer. Let's turn to breast cancer, and a really elegant paper from Jacques Bernier, who's the professor of oncology in Geneva, and he and his team describe a series of patients in whom the main aim was to conserve the nipple in patients with breast cancer just behind the nipple. So the normal rule of a centimetre of normal tissue, normal breast tissue right round the cancer would involve the nipple in these patients. Jacques' team have looked at their own experience, which was extremely impressive, of irradiating the nipple area, thus conserving it, and they do a literature review, so highly commendable and without doubt increasing quality of life for patients. Then across the pond in Venezuela and Colombia, a team headed by Morales report 4 patients with a really aggressive breast fibromatosis, which they've managed to eradicate with augmented mastoplasty. Interesting for the surgeons, but also for those who care about the quality of life for breast cancer patients. And lastly, a case report on 2 patients who had mantle cell lymphoma and were treated with ibrutinib. This is of particular topical interest in the UK at the moment because this drug has been agreed by NICE and has been picked up and is available for treating patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia and B-cell lymphomas in Scotland and in Wales, but not in England. Cryptococcal meningitis was a complication in 2 patients who had been treated successfully with ibrutinib. No question about the issue of the successfulness of ibrutinib, but look out for unusual and really rather rare and quite aggressive complications such as cryptococcal meningitis. This paper also comes from Texas, from the Houston Methodist Hospital. The key author is Kai Sun. Then on research, ecancer has for the last 8 or so years been involved as the communication, dissemination, education partner in European Commission projects, and the latest is a project with IMI, that's the pharmaceutical industry plus the European Commission, and this is a project on prostate cancer and it's called Pioneer. The project was launched at the beginning of the week, and it is a serious collection of big data and exploitation of big data to improve the outcomes of patients with prostate cancer. We're aiming for millions of bits of data with respect to diagnosis, detection of prostate cancer, treatment, outcomes, follow-up, survivorship, etc. And in the middle of the launch in Amsterdam, to our delight, ecancer's proposed celebrity, Stephen Fry, tweeted his support of the project. And now the last piece of news is ecancer is running 2 conferences in September. One of them is in Argentina on palliative care, where we are advertising the palliative care modules on ecancer, which are now in English for Africa, English for India, Hindi for India, and Spanish and Portuguese for Latin America. And then in Chile, we have a clinical oncology meeting, which is a follow-up from our very successful meeting at which several hundred oncologists from Chile and nearby came 2 years ago, I think. So you can go online now and you can book into either or both of those conferences. That's it for May and for me, and I'll speak to you, I hope, in June.